Long absent from the global market, but they're finally back. Oppo and their Find X8 Pro landed here in the studio, and I want to do a quick unboxing and first look. So let's get started. As you can see from the box already, it's a pretty large box because this is the Chinese version that I got gladly sent to by my colleagues from Trading Shenzhen. So if you're interested to get the Chinese version that comes in this thicker box, which means there's a cable and a charger included, then here you get it also for a very nice price. Oppo powered by Hasselblad as well. The typical packaging didn't change from the predecessors there. And when we lift it up, what we can see there is, of course, the quality control card by Trading Shenzhen. So they are checking out your device if everything is working fine out. And yeah, this is pretty good and awesome that they are checking it before sending it out to you. Otherwise, what we have in the package is, of course, like here, the SIM ejecting tool. And there is even a nice case included. It's a clear case, TPU case. So it's a bit of a cheaper kind of case that's cheaping out a little bit there. There we have also the SIM ejecting needle there and a bit of paperwork. And here you can see the clear TPU case. So yes, they are cheaping out a little bit there because the predecessors had a proper case, let's say it like this, even TPU, but a bit better. Then we have the device itself here. Let's get it unpacked as well there. I will show it to you just in a second. And then we have, and this is something that we don't have in the global version, the charger that comes included with this one here. I think it's an 80-watt charger, Super VOOC as well. It supports 50-watt wireless charging, and we have, as you see here from the charger, USB-A to C cable. So we have this USB-A to C cable there included as well. Then let's come to the device. As you can see here, I have the white version that has a bit of a texture, and it resembles marmor a little bit, as you can see here, depending how I put it into the light. And it is every device has a different pattern on it, so it's quite unique there as well. Then we have the camera bump, which is like, it looks large, but it is actually very thin if you compare it with the Find X7 Ultra that I'm recording here with right now. It's very thin. I was like, surprised. This is a new W lens that they use here instead of a periscope for two times tele lenses, so 3x and 6x. Then we have a volume rocker and a power button there. You can see the edges are nicely rounded a little bit. It's not completely flat. Then we have the camera control button or action key there. It's actually not a button, so you cannot press it. It's just a capacitive area there that is outlined, and the press action only appears when you have it turned on and it has power, and then it's like vibrating in a specific way. Otherwise you cannot press it. It's not a button. Then we have the Oppo logo there, of course. We have the flash here. We have, I think there's a speaker as well, but we have, of course, the infrared blaster there. Then, of course, the earpiece, bottom firing speaker, USB Type-C 3.2, and dual nano SIM slot. And there is also the alarm rocket or rocker or lever. So we have like a switch between ringtone, vibrate, and silent. And that's it in terms of device. We have a nice large screen here. I think it should be 6.78 inch size screen. Oppo powered by Android, of course. So this firing up now. There's a front facing, I think 32 megapixel camera as well. There's a screen protector pre-applied on it. This will be also on the global version. And there we see the Find X booting up. Then we have a special security chip on board, so if you want to have your fingerprint scanned in, you can use the special security chip there. Fingerprint scanner is down below here, a little bit too low in my opinion, and despite the fact they're also having ultrasonic fingerprints in the OnePlus 13, for example, this one is an optical one, so it is lighting up the finger. You can see it maybe there. It's lighting up the finger every time I press on it. So maybe we have to wait for the ultrasonic to land in the Ultra model there, so they're cheaping out a little bit there with the fingerprint scanner. But therefore they give us almost the same camera setup as the Find X7 Ultra in terms of like dual periscope lenses. Then there's a face detection as well on this device. Enroll face here, I can add it now, and there we go. Maybe you see it there. It's a 2D face scan only, so yeah, it can then unlock the device as well. Yeah, of course, gesture support. I want to use gestures there, and there we go, all set up. ColorOS 15, we know this already from the OnePlus 13, and it comes of course with the Chinese bloatware because someone resetted the device. It's like a testing device from Trading Shenzhen, but usually Trading Shenzhen installs the Play Store here and Gboard, and removes all this Chinese adware, I would say, or like crapware that you don't need probably. It gives you some instructions on how to deal with this. Like you can like swipe around here, which is quite unique. You don't have to open the folder to swipe around and see stuff like on other phones here, which is quite nice. So this is a nice possibility. ColorOS 15 comes here pre-installed. We know this already from the OnePlus 13. We know this already from the Find X7 Ultra that got it as well. I will directly go in here, show you the storage. 512 gigabytes storage and 27.3 gigabytes are used. And yes, 12 gigabytes of RAM is like allocated as well for this. So it's like the extended swap actually here. And then we can search for an update as well. So it will check now for an update. Probably will get an update as well. If I'm not completely mistaken, there should be maybe one update. No, it's up to date already. So we have the newest version here of the Chinese version of the Find X8 Pro here. What's the difference between the global version? It's just the Oxygen OS is like optimized for the Chinese market. So we don't have a Google feed here. We have their own glance kind of here with different widgets. And we don't have the Google integration like Gemini or Google Assistant or Android Auto as well. To enable Google services, when you like go into your settings, you can hit this button to go to an English keyboard. You search for Google. Don't press on the first one because this is only for safety. Just press on the second one, Google Settings, Google Mobile Services. Make sure it's active, and then you can sign in with your Google account. If you want to install the Play Store, if you search for Google, you can only find the Google app. You can install this from the app market, Oppo's own app market, but you don't find the Play Store if you search for it. So what I recommend is you're going to the web browser, APK Pure, for example, which is a secure kind of source where you can find the APK for the Google Play Store. You can just consent and download it. Get rid of the advertisements, yes, it's a bit cumbersome. And we start downloading the APK. You see there that it says update because the Google Play Store actually is already installed, but it is just not visible because it's deactivated by default. You click on open and you should be able to land in the Google app. And the way why you do it, because otherwise the App Store, the Play Store will not load like it should be. But as you can see, it's loading fine, and now you can use your Play Store to install all the application or even to update all the applications like I will do right now here. The operating system that is running here is of course ColorOS 15 that we know already from the OnePlus 13. So it's basically the same kind of version there. If we go about device, you can see here Find X8 Pro, ColorOS. There you can see the version number that I have currently. There's no update available for this device currently. So yeah, it is running fluid. We have all the nice parallel animations that we had already before. And it has all the bells and whistles. Like we have a search engine here. It's not using Google Feed. This is the big difference to the global version that you might see. And there's no Android Auto support, of course, amongst some other changes. Otherwise, like this device is running fluid. It has also DRM support. Like check it out. White Wine Level 1 is supported there. And when we go and check out Netflix, for example, we can check out the support here, and gladly this device, like the global version, supports Netflix in Full HD with HDR10 and Dolby Vision, which is quite nice, and this works fine as well. In terms of applications, we have of course the camera application that has changed a little bit there. There's like the possibility to choose smart scenes like stage, silhouette or fireworks. We had this, or we have this as well for the OnePlus 13, so nothing has changed here. The only big difference here in terms of cameras is, of course, in comparison to the OnePlus 13, we have another tele camera here as well, 6x and 3x. And I think we start off with a little bit of some samples that I will shortly record here. We start off with 4K 30 frames per second on the front-facing camera. This one doesn't have autofocus, so this is the Find X7 Ultra that I was using for filming. Sadly no autofocus here, but yeah, at least it has stabilization, and 4K 30 and 4K 60 frames per second are possible with this one. Then we have the main camera sensor here, which is I think the same one as in the OnePlus 13. So what is the big difference here between the Oppo Find X8 Pro and the OnePlus 13? It is that we have 4K 120 frames per second support on the OnePlus 13, which is not supported here on the Oppo. Otherwise, I can also go and switch to the ultra wide angle. As you see here, nice animations there. This is the ultra wide angle, maybe even wider than the one on the OnePlus 13, but you be the judge. And if you want to zoom in on something, let's take the Christmas tree here that we have here. We have 2x, which is crop on the main sensor. Then we have 3x. And we have the 6x second periscope zoom there, and we can zoom in up to 18 times. So as you can see here, even in this dim lit situation, even if I want to go out now completely ultra wide angle, it is very smooth and very, very cool. There's a slight change from the ultra wide angle to the main sensor in terms of white balance, as you see. Otherwise, stabilization is quite nice, and focus is quite good as well and fast. As you see here, 2x crop, no issues. 3x, however, doesn't have this macro mode, but 6x should have this. So let's go in here. Yes, as you can see, I can get pretty close with the 6x and get macro-like shots, which is quite nice indeed. Let's take a look at some photos. Here are some first test shots that I did of Timmy, for example, here with the 3x zooms 73 millimeters. As you can see, it's not 100% sharp. So I think it's not the biggest sensor that we have here, because it had to get the shutter speed a little bit lower, as you see here. It's actually 1/100th of a second, f2.6. So just the focus that had some issues there. Otherwise, here selfie of me. This is using 21 millimeters and looks okay. There's a bit of fake kind of eyebrows that I notice here immediately, so it has heavy processing there for sure. And I turned off beautification. This is the ultra wide angle here. This is 15 millimeters, so it's the same as on the OnePlus. Has also higher shutter speed there, which is quite nice. As you can see here, the Christmas tree. Don't think it's too soft. It's getting a bit soft towards the edges, but we have to take a look at this. Middle is pretty sharp. Have to take a look at this on the computer to be a good judge there. But for me, it looks like the same as the OnePlus 13 right now. Main camera sensor here, 23mm f1.6. Nice bokeh, nice details on this teddy bear there. And nice focus fall off, looks okay. Then 3x zoom on the Christmas tree. It's a bit over sharpened, I would say, a bit overblown maybe the highlights. Nice stars there as well that it creates. And then 6x, which is usually using the 6x 135mm f4.3. You can notice this whenever there's f4.3 that it has to be the 6x. You can see because of the shutter speed very, very low, 1/20th of a second, there's a bit of blur introduced. This is why it's not the sharpest there. But in general, I think it's doing a good and fine job. It's not outstanding. It is not on the same level as the Find X7 Ultra. This is what I can tell you immediately on my first impression here. And it is roughly, I think, the same ballpark as the OnePlus 13. There's just the big change here that we have a 6x zoom lens as well, what I see here on first glance. So what is your first impressions?
With the pretty large 5910 mAh battery, it should charge you very quickly, but also the Super VOOC charging with 80 watts here should give you plenty of recovery of the battery in a few minutes only. And if you have a fast wireless charger, it can also charge up wirelessly with 50 watt.
The speakers can get quite loud, and it is using the earpiece as a secondary speaker that is more capable of reproducing heights, not so much the bass so much. The bass is coming more down below, so it is not the best speaker, but it can get pretty loud. Listen to yourself. Full volume. So yeah, it is getting quite loud, and it is also a little bit of bassy there. So the bass is coming, like I said, down below here. It's vibrating quite a bit on the upper part here. So the sound doesn't come out only on the earpiece, it also comes out on the top. I think one of those holes also leaks out a little bit of the sound there. So this is producing a good sound, but not the best. I heard already better, but it is for a flagship device definitely adequate kind of sound. It's no distortion there, and it's not shrilling too much. So yeah, definitely an okayish kind of sound for this price region and category. In terms of performance, this device rocks with the MediaTek 9400. As you can see here, the Antutu benchmark points, but also everyday usage is very, very cool. The only thing where I was a little bit disappointed was the 3D Mark Wildlife Extreme stress test, because here it had a little bit of an issue. As you can see, let's go in there with the stability rate only being 42%. But the rest of the numbers look okay. Every day-to-day tasks and usage is no issue at all with this device. Especially video rendering is super blazing fast without any issues. And you can see the animations are very, very smooth as well. So ColorOS is also, with its parallel animation engine, one of the best Android skins currently on the market. So in general, the Oppo Find X8 Pro, I'm looking very positively into the future, and especially the camera test, because this is the only thing where I think, yeah, it's a bit thin, which is nice and lightweight, but where I'm a bit skeptical regarding the sensor sizes and the first shots that I did. Yes, it's looking good and it's looking consistent, but I have a little bit of fear that the detail level here on this device with the smaller kind of sensors is a bit lackluster there. But I will of course test it with the OnePlus 13, I will test it with maybe the Find X7 Ultra, the Xiaomi 15 Pro and all the other new flagships, and we'll see how good the camera setup of the Oppo Find X8 Pro is. Otherwise, as a every day-to-day usage of the device, super fast, super blazing good, battery life, even though a little bit smaller than maybe the competition here, still very, very good. The screen, very, very good. I like ColorOS, the operating system here running on it, very good. Even though it's the Chinese version, it's running splendidly good, and definitely something that I can recommend. If you're interested in the OnePlus 8 Pro, you can get it for cheaper as an import version. Like I said, Android Auto is missing there, and I think you might have run into issues with Android Wear because it's not working with the global Android Wear devices. Otherwise, this will work splendidly well. You can find a link down below for the Oppo Find X8 Pro. That's it for this short little unboxing and first impressions video. If you have some questions regarding the device, write it down in the comment section. Of course, like I said, I will do some camera comparisons with some devices as well coming in the near future. This is everything. Until the next time, bye.